Okay, welcome back to another tutorial video for quick pitch baseball. In this video, we're going to talk about the Outfield Plays chart. Now, the Outfield Plays chart is very similar to the Infield Plays chart. So it's broken up in a matrix style, 10 by 10 matrix. In fact, whenever you have an out from the batter card and then you go to the outfield matrix, it's either a fly out or a line out. You're going to use the Outfield Plays chart. You'll, again, roll 2 dice. And then for me, a 0 is a 10 and on these dice. So you're going to go 10 on the y-axis and 1 on the x-axis. And so where those two meet, that's going to be your square. Now you can see here 2 different colors, and in our key, it tells you green is go and red is a no-go. That has to do with base running. But at this point, where they meet is going to meet one of these fielders. So we have a left, center, and right fielder. You sort of consider looking from home plate out to the fence. You can see left, center, and right field. So this square here would be the right fielder's ball. And essentially you would just roll like you would an infielder. So this would be a 0-4-0, a 40. And is that inside of the outfielder's catch range? So for Barrett, if he were the right fielder, he has a 1 to 982 catch range. So this would be well within that, and he would make the play on the fly out or the line out. Now, if there are players on base, that's where the numbers and the colors come in. So if there's a player on base, and let's say it's a fly ball, and it was a 1 and a 1, right? So it's a fly ball to this corner here. There's a runner on third base and 1 out. You make the catch. The catch is good for out number 2. And then the green tells us that you have to go. So you have to tag up, you have to go home, and then you would roll against the player's speed value. A red says no go. So if we were to make the catch here and the runner was at third, the runner cannot advance. And then anything inside the white is a go at your own risk. Okay, so you can advance a base runner at your own risk, and it can be any base runners, but generally the lead base runner is what you're looking at. And you can advance that runner with a manipulation of their success rating. So let's say the ball goes here to this minus 200, and we have Marty Barrett at third base, 1 out, and the catch is made. We are going to take this 200 and we're going to subtract that from his success. So instead of 1 to 500, he's now 1 to 300. And so that's going to be what you would roll against if you want to try to score him. The opposite happens if it's a plus 200, then you would add 200. So when it's hit here, he is a 1 to 700, and so you have that choice. You can try to score or not score, or take the extra base, or go first to third, or whatever, to the a long fly ball to right field, and you want to try to get him over to third. If it's hit here, it's trying to simulate that long fly ball that gives you a little bit of extra to your player to get to the next base. So you have an opportunity based off of where the player catches or picks up the ball. On a single, I always check to see where the ball goes, because maybe it lands in a green square and they need to try to stretch that for 2. They can stretch it for 2. They have to stretch it, or they stay at first base. Now, the way this is laid out is these rolls are generally going to happen the most. These green rolls are going to generally happen the least, and then everything in between sort of goes most to least from the corners, or down to the corners this way. So that these numbers here are going to happen less frequently than the minus 200. So generally you don't get a lot of opportunities to take extra bases in the game, but there are some. And so just wanted to build that into the game. So if you want a little bit of help on deciding when should I send them, when should I not send them, this chart gives you the ability to do that on fly balls and line drives. And like I said, on singles, I typically do that as long as there's nobody in front of the batter who hit the single. Okay, I think that is the outfield plays chart. And again, this happens on outfield outs or fly outs and line outs. The infield chart is for infield or ground balls. And then the next, I'm going to show you a chart for a special chart that we have for bunting plays. But at this point, you have everything that you need essentially to play the game. So you need your 3D10 dice, different colors. You need a scorecard to sort of keep track of the players. And you need the player cards as well. So we have all the player cards. It just happens to be Boston. And then you need your infield and outfield place chart. And that really is it. Coming with your download is going to also be the game guide, which will have several other charts in there that I'll explain in different videos. And you'll have everything sort of all in one place. If you have any questions or comments at this point for the videos, please leave them down in the comment section below. In the next video, I'm going to cover the bunting chart.